Everybody, welcome back to DIY Shop, American Model Madness, where we're going to get crazy. And we just started a grave digger, rock climber, custom truck challenge. And this is basically what we got done. Now, just to give you an idea what we did on our last video, and by the way, our last video I had my device failed. Actually, I didn't have the power cord hooked up to my extension cord, so the battery went dead, and I had to charge my device. But we are now plugged in. Yes, we are, and we're back on. But this is basically what we did in our last video. We actually cut the top of it off back here, and we took out the center. There were some poles or tubes that were right here and right here. This is what these two holes basically are from. We got a hole there, and then we got a hole right there. And we made patch panels out of a tray line lid, a produce tray line lid, and we painted it up, and that's what it looks like now. This is the side that we actually painted off camera while my device was charging, and this looks really, really good. It looks so sweet. And what I did is I did it chromoly steel. Now, for those who don't know, that are new to this and are novices to model building, chromoly is very, very time consuming to paint, and you got to go coat after coat after coat, and you got to flare it with the brush. You got to add there's a medium for blend, so that way you can get all the lines out like we got right here. This is one of them that hasn't been done yet. It's only got a primer coat on it. It's got 2 primer coats on it, and it's not blended yet. But that's basically what we got. And this is still wet, actually, so we're going to put this aside, and we are going to do our body. So we'll put this right here on the table, kind of suspend it right there. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to work on the body, and we're going to do some chopping on the body. You know, that's what we do. We are DIY Chop, American Model Madness. Yes, we are. So we're going to go ahead and put our media, close up our media, and we're going to go ahead and get the body out. And this is basically the idea I got. And what I did here was, and I like to use these are really, really cool. Basically, these are like address labels. And the address labels, the good thing about it is they are water soluble. You can put deterginated alcohol on these, and they will actually just come right off, wipe off the residue, the adhesive and everything. So these are really, really cool. And basically what I did was, I'm going to just move this down so that way you guys can see it a little bit better, is I put it across the body line. Now if you look real closely here, there's a body line. Now the very top line right there is basically where that address label is actually sitting on. And I measured it back about the width of my scraper blade. I want to say that's about a ½ an inch approximately, and I continued it up onto the rope line, and that's going to be one of our cut lines. And just to kind of we can do the other side here, and I can show you, you know, put this thing down a little bit better so that way you can see better. But and I'm going to do this upside down, but there's that body line right there. I just basically stick it right on there like this, and I line it up with the edge of the door, so that way it gives me an accurate cut. And these address labels, also another good thing about these address labels is they're real easy to take off if you make a mistake. And you just want to just kind of stick it right there. And it's basically, and especially if your plastic is too dark for you to use a marker. So, and this is black, and it's and I got black markers, so I'm not going to be able to see it. I'm going to get this on here right somehow. Okay. And my address label is actually curled. So we're going to try to do this. Okay, that's when you get a new address label. That was not sticking, so. There's probably, I want to say there's probably a residue on the model that's keeping it from sticking. So, there we go. And basically that is my reference point. And I'll go ahead and get another one out. And you can get these at Dollar General, Family Dollar for like $1. I mean, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take one on the side right here, line it right up with the edge of the door. Okay, right where the door, if you set the door with the door line. Okay, and then I'm going to continue that right across the top, like so. Give it a good rub. And then this is basically the scraper tool. It's a Cricut tool. It's a cutting X-Acto blade. And make sure you got a really sharp Sharpie marker. And I use this tool a lot for measuring. And you just want to put it right on the very edge of that paper. If you guys can see this, hope you can, because I got no monitor device. And just put a little mark right there. Go right up here, put it right on the edge of the paper. Put another little mark. And I like to use my tools. Sometimes I use my tools for things that are not supposed to be used. Like this nail file here, which I use it to clean parts. Sometimes you gotta, I use it for straight edge. And the nice thing about it is you can actually bend it. Can't bend a ruler. Take your line all the way across. And I just dulled out my tip because I ran it across my file, but that's okay. We'll sharpen that. That's in a later video. Okay. And my daughter's in there in the kitchen. And next what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully take the razor blade and we are going to cut as straight as we can on this paper all the way across the top, as straight as we can. Now basically what we're doing is we are cutting the paper off because we are going to use a saw blade to saw this, and the adhesive on this will gum up your saw blade, and it creates a lot of problematic issues. Now you just want to get it just as straight as you can. There's my dog barking at farting crickets. Collie! You just go all the way around. Now this is actually a dull razor blade. It's tearing up the sticker, but that's okay. And then you want to peel it off. Now this, basically what this is doing is it's giving us a safety perimeter. And you just basically peel it off. Take your fingernail, you can get the corner of it right where you cut. Okay, and just basically just take it right off like that. Make sure your little fuzzies are out. Okay, and we are then going to take, which basically what I like to use is use these right here. These are basically just regular saw blades. Just to share with you here, I don't think I got the right one. Yeah, I do. Actually, I do have the right one. Here's one of my detailing brushes I've been looking for. It's amazing how things just pop up. Okay, and you want to use a fine blade like this. The finer the blade, the better. Now, you can use this, or you can use the hacksaw blade. Now, in this application, where did my hacksaw blade go? We are going to find a hacksaw blade. I don't think where did my hacksaw blade go? Sometimes you lose things when you're doing these model works. You're doing multiple things, but that's okay. Go ahead and I'll get my other blade out. Always have a backup plan for your tooling. That's another suggestion. There we go. And basically what you want to do is you want to go right on this side of the paper and just very carefully take long strokes. Good, and I start from the corners because the corner is the thickest. Most of the time in these models, the corner is the thickest, and you want to support the model with your fingers like this. Don't rest on the table and push down with the saw, because you will end up snapping the fenders off the model. And let the saw do the work. Don't fight it. Pulling towards you is the best I've found. And you just make sure you stay right on that white line on the paper. Stay right on the paper. Go all the way across. We having fun yet? I know I am. Somebody out there is probably saying, "Oh my gosh, he is cutting up my favorite truck." I might get bad comments about this one, but stay with me on it, and because I'm going to reveal an awesome looking truck. And I like to go back and forth, as you can see, because I want to keep the roof line straight. As straight as I can. Oh yeah. And what'll happen is you'll end up cutting through the roof. Go to one side. Go all the way down. But do not go all the way to the body line. You just want to go right before the body line. And the reason why is because we will actually work that with the razor blade. Now sometimes you're going to have a little bit of an issue getting in there because of the model twisting. Because you're actually, when you're cutting the model, it will twist a little bit most of the time on these bodies. Now later on, I'll actually introduce to you a cutting way with an X-Acto blade knife and a candle. Now, you don't want to go all the way onto the body line, which I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's just right before you get to the bottom of the body line. Just right before you get to the body line. And this, if I get my little pointer tool here, I'll show you. Okay, just to make sure you guys can see it. Okay, right here is where the cut ends. Right here is where the body line is. And we'll get that little small piece right there. That small piece right there we will get with the X-Acto blade. And I'll show you here with that. But you want to go up above the body line. And I'll go ahead and I'll mark this for you so that way you guys can see it better. You know, we'll get a okay, so that way let's go ahead and we'll do this. Highlight with these tabs. So these tabs are also good if you got a little bit of a vision problem. For those who are vision impaired, these tabs actually work very well because you can take your fingernail and just go over the body line and it'll actually highlight the body line. And it'll tell you exactly where it's at. See? And just to make this a little bit more vigilant for you, I'll even kind of go over it with a marker a little bit here. That's basically where the body line is. And then what we want to do with that is you want to go right above the body line, just a hair. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to trim this later on. But rule of thumb is you can always cut away, trim away, and sand away. But to fix this with putty, it's very time consuming. And keep the saw away from your fingers. It's not worth stitches. And you want to saw as much flat as you can without touching the rest of the model. Somebody out there is probably asking, well, why is that? Well, because you can actually saw straighter. I'm just going to try to cut the back of this. There it goes. Alrighty. And you just go right, take as long strokes, but follow that body line. And again, you're going to have some twisting action with this too. So, and I'm going to break cardinal rule here and put my knuckle in the way because I want to. There it goes. Try to get the blade in there. And now, for those who are wondering, the saw is like right up against my knuckle, but I'm actually, I don't know if anybody can see that. I'm guiding this with my knuckle. And just get as close to your cut as you can. And let the saw do the work. And you will notice when I get done with this that I actually veered off a little bit and I got a little bit close to the body line. This is the reason why we cut away from the body line. And I will reveal that to you here when I get this cut. And that's what basically what you do is you twist it like that away from that body line. And then you want to go as close to